Hey everyone, welcome back to your Techie Teacher channel. In today's video, we're going to build a custom VPC in AWS step by step. Here we'll set up public and private subnets, configure an internet gateway, create route tables, and launch an EC2 instance to test everything. If you're learning AWS networking, this is the perfect hands-on lab. By the end of this video, you have a fully functional custom VPC with internet access for public instances and an isolated private subnet. Sounds good? Let's get started. Step 1, we're going to be creating a custom VPC. So you want to ensure you're on your AWS management console. So you want to log in to AWS. Then you search for VPC and select VPC. Now we are on the VPC dashboard. And here we are on the AWS VPC dashboard. What we want to do now is to create a VPC. So we're just going to go on to click on Create VPC. Click Create VPC, then we select VPC only. Our goal here is to create a custom VPC, so we'll go on and give this name My Custom VPC. Then for the CIDR block, we have 10.0.0.0/16. Then we're good to go. Let's just go on to create VPC. So we've successfully created VPC, my custom VPC. Awesome. So now we have our own isolated network in AWS. Next, we'll create public and private subnets. We'll go over to the Subnets tab. Then we go on to create subnets. So click on create subnets. Here we'll have to select the VPC we created, which is my custom VPC. And we can see this is the CIDR range we gave you earlier. Now for the subnet name, we'll call it public subnets. Then we'll select an availability zone of choice. We can choose US East 1A. So this will be the public subnet availability zone. CIDR block is the same, like the one we gave the VPC. Then for the subnet CIDR block, we're giving it 10.0.1.0/24. This is all good. On the same page, we'll go on to add new subnets. This time we are adding a private subnet, so we can just go on to call it private subnets. And for availability zone, we're going to be using another availability zone, so we can just use US East 1B. Then we'll go on to the subnet CIDR block. (10.0.0.2.0/24). So we're good. Yeah, and we can just go on to create the subnets. Now we're creating two subnets. Now we have the private subnet and public. We have both of them ready, so we're good. Currently here we could see both subnets has auto assign IP disabled. We have to ensure that the public IP is enabled. This is really good for the private subnet, but for the public subnets we really need public access, so would allow public IP to be auto assigned. So we'll go on to the public subnet, then public subnet, not the private subnet. So let's go back to subnets, then we go to public subnets. Then here we could go on to allow auto assign public IPv4 address. So let's go on to just edit subnet settings and enable this. So that's it for the public subnet. We'll just go on to save this. The reason why we're doing this for the public subnet is so we could allow internet access to this public subnet. So we're good to go. Alright, so the next thing we're doing now is to create internet gateway, and we'll call this my IGW. My internet gateway like this. Then we go on to create internet gateway, and once this is created, I'm going to attach it to the VPC. So you can see here we already get the option that it's successful. We can attach to the VPC from here, but then we can just go on to actions and attach to VPC. Okay, so I'm going to select my custom VPC, then attach the internet gateway. So here we're good to go. Now that our VPC is connected to the outside world, let's go to configure the route table. Right, so here we need to route the internet traffic properly within our subnets. So we ensure that our public subnet can reach the internet while the private subnet stays isolated. So let's go on to route tables here. Then would create a route table called public route table. Okay, so we'll select the same VPC. So select my custom VPC. Then go on to create this route table. Good. So now that we have this route, we can go on to associate it with the public subnets. We already have a route pointing to a local with the destination there. So we want to add a default route that will point to the internet gateway we just created. So let's click on edit routes. So we're going to add a route, and we're just going to take this default destination, then internet gateway. So this time around we get to select my IGW we created a few seconds ago. Then yes, you're good. Let's save changes. So this is us creating the routes. Then next we would also associate this route with the public subnet. So let's go on to subnet associations and edit subnet association. So we'll select the public subnet, then we'll save this association. Now the public subnet can reach the internet. Then we'll go on to do the same for the private subnet. So we'll go on to create a new route table. So let's go back to our route tables page. This time around we'll create a private route table. Private route table. We'll select the same custom VPC, then create this route table. Then we'll go on to associate it with the private subnet. So this way, this one we're not attaching to the internet gateway. Remember, it's private. We just want it to stay isolated. So we'll just go to subnet associations and associate it with the private subnets. So let's go there and yes, we're done. So now the public subnet can reach the internet and the private subnet stays isolated on its own privately. So next we're going to launch an EC2 instance in the public subnets to test everything, right? Let's just launch an EC2 instance. So we're going to go to the EC2 dashboard. And we'll be creating this instance in the public subnet. So let's go. We're going to click on launch instance. Okay, so the instance would give this, so call this my test server. Then I'll go on to select any image of my choice. I can use Ubuntu or Linux. So this is Amazon Linux. Then we'll go on to check the instance type is fine. Here we can create a new key pair or use an existing key pair. Let's create a key pair, call this test key. So create key pair. So want to ensure we select the custom VPC we created. Then we'll go on to ensure it is in the public subnet, not this private one. So let's select public subnet. Okay, so we've selected the public subnet and you can see that auto assign public IP is already enabled. That's what we did earlier, so we're good. So next we would configure the security group to allow port 22, that's SSH, right? And also port 80. So let's also add port 80. So add security group, we will add port 80. So HTTP. So add port 80, then we can just go on and launch this instance, then we'll connect to it via SSH. Okay, oh, we didn't have a source, so we can just say source from anywhere. This is HTTP, right? So you can access anywhere on the internet. Okay, so let's go on and launch. Great, so successfully launched. Time to test if everything is working correctly. So now that we have this launched, let's go on to connect to this instance. Okay, so we're going to select test server, then click on connect. Then we have this example we could connect with, so let's just copy this command and run it on our terminal. So you want to ensure your key pair file is in the same directory as this terminal. Okay, I currently don't even have mine here, so I'll just go on to ensure I have my .pem file here. So this is the key pair file. So I'll just go on to run this command now and we should be good to go. Okay, so do I want to continue? I would say yes. And that's it. We are connected to the instance. So the next thing we can do is we can run a command to check if this can access the internet, right? So we can ping google.com. Okay, so we're getting a response. So this means that we can actually reach the internet, right? Congratulations, the VPC, public subnet, and internet gateway are working perfectly. This is really awesome. So we can go on to test, right, by launching a web server on this instance. you can go on to launch a web server on this instance and try it out and open it on a browser, right? Open it on the browser tab, right, to ensure that HTTP access is also confirmed. So yeah, let's just go on to run a command to install Apache. So we can just do sudo yum install -y http d. So this will just install the Apache web server. Okay, good. So that was done. So next you can just do sudo systemctl start http d. I have to H there. So now we can just go on to the public IP. Okay, this is the public IP already, so we can just open this on a new browser and see if it does work. See, it works. So we're able to launch a server and everything works so perfectly. So congratulations guys, that's all for this lab. If you found this helpful, smash that like button and subscribe for more videos. Let me know in the comments what topics you'd like to see next. Until next time, keep building and keep learning. See you in the next video. Bye.